T-E-E-R-E. It's about the toys. Welcome to another episode of English Ed Reviews Everything. I'm your host and everyone's favorite flatmate, Lucky English Ed. And as you can clearly see, I managed to get my hands on one of these Action Force figures. Of course, I had to choose the Sarge himself. Oh man, I'm impressed, to tell you the truth. But let's take a look at this though. We got this packaging. This is Wave 2. This Sergeant Slaughter is part of Wave 2. There's the Sergeant Slaughter. Officially licensed Sergeant Slaughter. A part of Valaverse's Action Force Wave 1. If you're wondering what is Valaverse and what is Action Force, well, Action Force was a brand, a military style brand, much like G.I. Joe, many years ago in the UK. It was essentially G.I. Joe for the UK, but it wasn't owned by Hasbro or anything like that. It later got picked up by Hasbro and converted, and characters from the Action Force came over into G.I. Joe officially. Many years later though, Hasbro let the license go for Action Force, and they let the license go for many different names. They even let the license go. They stopped licensing Sergeant Slaughter, the character from the actual man. I can't remember his name right now. Robert, I think? Robert, or I can't remember. I'm just gonna drop his name in text when I'm editing this. But they let that license go, and a guy by the name of Bobby Vala picked up the license. He picked up the licenses for Action Force. He named it Valaverse after himself. His name is Bobby Vala. Bobby Vala was an employee for Hasbro, the Marvel Legends line. He worked there for quite some time. I don't know if he was fired or if he quit. I don't know. What I do know is he started his own business, and his toys are quite impressive. Off the top of my head, the thing I can think he did while he was over at Hasbro working on the Marvel Legends line was that thick boy, that Kingpin in the white jacket. Yeah, he is responsible for collectors getting that. So if you have that character, he's responsible for it. So, but continuing on, he started his own line. Here it is. This is Sergeant Slaughter from Wave 2. This is my first Valaverse Action Force figure. So let's just jump right into it and take a look. So this Wave 2 consists of a black character named Rollout. This guy right here. This is just, I don't get it, but this is just generic white guy, military white guy. How many times have you seen people in military movies look like this? Fuck, where I live right now, there's a guy who's doing construction that looks just like this. I'm just saying, like, is that like tough guy starter pack, white dude tough guy starter pack or something like that? So anyway, then we got Trigger, which is also a cool looking figure. We got the Sarge, I got that, we're going to take a look at that. We got this guy Duster, which is based on a real person that I know nothing about. And if I ever get my hands on this character, I will learn as much as I can. Then we have the Scarab Trooper, and then we have the Garrison Cavalier. I definitely want to pick up at least one of him. They are a faceless, army builder, but the character just looks really fucking cool. So anyway, let's take a look at this Sergeant Slaughter figure. Boom. There he is, people. This is the Sergeant Slaughter from the Valaverse line. He looks really good. Like, it comes with a crap ton of accessories. My lighting is really shite right now. It comes with a crap load of accessories. In fact, it's just so many good things about this figure. I've had him for about a week and a half, something like that. I just wanted to take my time and actually play with the figure, pose the figure, and it's really good. I personally haven't had any issues with my figure. No, that's not true. I've had one very, very small issue, but it's barely worth mentioning, but I'm gonna mention it anyway, just so I'm completely transparent with y'all. So, this character has all the articulation of a G.I. Joe classified, with the exception of 1 point of articulation, which is fine. It's not really needed that much, because it doesn't really help that much. That articulation being, like with this roadblock right here, we take a look at the roadblock, he has a neck articulation. You can't really see it, but let's get in close. See how that line is right there where you pop the head in, with the throat in? Yeah, they don't have that articulation point. And it's not really a big deal, because the peg that holds the head is actually so good that it's not needed. Would have been nice to have it? Sure, why not? More articulation, the better. But it's not really... It definitely isn't a deal breaker by any stretch of the imagination. So anyway, let's take a grand look at this Sarge. This Sarge comes with just so many goodies for a $32 price point, which is they're actually $31.99. For a $32 price point, you get a lot. Yeah, I'd say it's worth it. Especially now, seeing how Hasbro has raised their prices. Their figures are coming in at like $25, $26 now. So that's one thing to take into consideration. So let's just take a look at this character. His articulation is grand. Let's pop this grenade launcher out and watch that. Damn, that's in there really good. Okay. And watch his backpack fall off. Okay, let's pop his hat off. Let's move him up. Now, at looks, some people have said things like, oh, this Sarge doesn't look like the Sarge we all know and love. I will throw up a side-by-side comparison between the Valaverse Sarge. Wave 1 and Wave 2 head sculpt is exactly the same. They just took the head sculpt from their Wave 1 and just popped it on this Wave 2. Which isn't a bad thing, not for me anyway. I don't mind that. Don't mind that at all. They were saying things like, oh, it doesn't look like the Sarge. Like, it doesn't look like the Hasbro Sarge and from years ago. I'll do a comparison with that too, because that Sarge that came out in the 3 3/4 inch line didn't look like the guy, why do I want to say Robert Rudek? Why do I want to say that? That's not his name, is it? I'm going to pop that up in the graphic. But if you look at this figure versus how the actual man looks, the actual human being, this is spot on. Because you have to remember, Bobby Vala sculpted, or I don't know if he sculpted it, but Bobby Vala sculpted it to look like how he looks now and not how he looked then. Why don't you go ahead and focus, man? There we go. Slowly pull you back. So, this is pretty much how the man looks today. And every time I move my hand into the frame, this is how the man actually looks today. You know, his chin is very, very well profound. Articulation. All the standard articulation with some better caveats. Let's pop his web gear off. If I can get it over that goddamn chin of his. Ain't that something? Come on. Don't know why that was difficult. Let's take a look at this. This web gear is just really, really tight. You got pouches all around. Pouches in the front. It has 2 points to snap the figure, to snap onto the figure. I do like that. And since it's so large, you can actually probably fit this on a lot of Classified and Marvel Legends. I love this gun holster. He's got this big boy. This is a freaking hand cannon. This is easily a 50 caliber Magnum. Easily a 50 caliber. No one's gonna convince me that it's not, unless you show me actual paperwork. So let's take a look at that. That is really, really good. And the way it sits in the holster is really cool. Just pops in just like that. Pardon that noise in the background if y'all can hear that. If you can't, it's not a big deal. He has a swivel at the waist. Then he has a diaphragm crunch, a diaphragm joint, which allows for that. He has a ball joint at the shoulders, which allows for 360. He can get into a T-pose, which is not the greatest, but it looks good. It's good for what it is. He has double jointed elbows, which allows for that much. These hands, it comes with multiple hands. These hands are trigger hands. So let's just get a look at that. These are vertical wrists for up and down motion. Which is really cool. He does pop that off. He does have drop down hips. Yes, I avoided talking about the butterfly joints. He has drop down hips, which allows for, let's move the gun out the way, which allows for, let's push that down a bit, which allows for that wide of splits. Pop those hips back up. He has thigh swivel. He has double jointed knees. Let's see if I can get that out. It's hindered just a slight bit by the side holster. See if I can get it on this one. Yeah, it's all right. It does the job very well. He has shin swivel and pivot and rockers at the ankles. Now, what I was talking about that I have a small caveat is when you get in close. See, come on, people. Ugh. It's hard to see, but there's paint chippage in the joint. That's kind of upsetting. I figured it would have been made out of all green, since there's more green than black. I figured it would have been made out of all green and then painted black, but I'm okay with that. It's definitely not a deal breaker. He also comes with these pouches that go on the sides of his legs. Now, these butterfly joints is what I was holding off on. Good God. These butterfly joints are crazy. Look at these. Look at how close these arms can get with these butterfly joints. What are they doing over at Valaverse? Why can't Hasbro get on top of that? And then going backwards. Well, that's standard. Let's do that. Look at that. But just this alone, that is crazy. So let's put him back on the pegs here. Let's take a look at this. These stands are, one, they're thick as hell. Shouldn't have been shaking it. They're thick as hell, so yeah. Got Action Force carved in, molded in, sculpted into the base itself. 4 points, 4 pegs, so you can get different types of poses out of your figure. And look at that. That's how stable those things are. Like, look at that, man. It's just really, really good. I am impressed. He can kick forward that much. Let's pop that hip down. That's with the popped hip. He can kick back. Let's pop that down. He can kick back that much. So let's do that again. Forward that. Oh man, that is crazy. he is kicking Cobra troops in the face. High kicks. And let's take a look at these accessories, because these accessories are just busted. So let's take them off. You saw the gun. He comes with this grenade launcher, which is really, really cool. Molded very well. I have seen other videos of the grenade launchers breaking at this point right here. That point right there. And I'm afraid mine is going to do that. There's no stress point. I don't have a stress point, but I'm afraid at some point it's going to happen. The drum rotates. That is cool. Let's try to get that so you can see it. That is really cool. It's a tight squeeze, but it's really, really cool. It has a peg hole right there for the blast effects. Now let's take a look at these other hands that he comes with. He comes with a pair of grabbing hands for holding knives, pipes, sticks. He comes with a pair of cradling hands or handshaking hands, whatever. You want to make him shake hands with the Cobra enemy. I don't recommend that at all. Which are pretty good. Or holding rifles. He better come with a pair of freaking fists. He comes with a pair of fists also. All the hands, with the exception of the trigger hands, are on horizontal. And then we have the pointer finger, which is on a vertical hinge. Then he also comes with a pair of glasses. Now, you saw him with this hat when I opened up in the video. Yeah, this video is running long. This is probably going to be a 20-minute video. Oh man, I hope it gets views. I really do. You saw him with this hat when I opened up the video. But of course, he wouldn't be a Sarge without his hat. There we go. He just wouldn't be Sergeant Slaughter without that trademark hat. And just to do a quick comparison, let me throw these shades on. Oh wow, the hat's actually stuck on this time. That is a small gripe I do have. That these glasses are just super flimsy. I mean, I don't know how to make it, so he did what he could with what he had, but there we go. The comparison with the classic 3 3/4 inch Sarge just looks really good. Now, I left out two things. He comes also with this backpack, which is very similar, it's very similar to the Snake Eyes backpack, just with less detail, the Sarge's pack, and no paint app on it. And then he also comes with, what the hell did I do with it? It's right here. He comes with this vest, which I'm going to try to put on, even though we're running into 20 minutes. Trying to put this on quickly for you guys. There we go. Let's toss his hat on. That doesn't do that. Where's his glasses at? Let's try and do that. Put these glasses on him, which, oh man, and let's get his hat on without knocking his glasses off. And that is Sarge. There we go. And you got the peg hole in the back of the vest, so you can put that backpack on. Let me just snap that on just so you can take a look at it. Where the heck is it? Oh, it's right there. Doesn't look very right, but there you have it. Oh man, and that was my look at my first Valaverse figure by Bobby Vala. Valaverse? What am I saying? Valaverse. What the hell is wrong with me? I can't speak English correctly for some reason. Valaverse by Action Force, or Action Force by Valaverse. That's accurate to say. Until I get my hands on the Hasbro Sarge, and even after I get my hands on the Hasbro Sarge, this Sarge will do just nicely. Well, thank you for joining me, people. I know this has been a long video. I hope you have stuck with me to the end. So if you have, why don't you go ahead and give me a like if you like this episode. Give me a share if you want to. And by all means, please subscribe. All new subscribers will get a shout out in the next video. Unfortunately, I have no new subscribers as of yet. If you comment new subscriber in the comments on this video, I will give you a shout out in the next video. That's what I meant to say. So thank you to all, and to all a good night. Love, luck, and lollipops. Maggots!